backdrop to celebrate the legendary 1999 World Cup winning team. Fans pumped, excited today for the U.S. women's national team who are in town. Jill Ellis and the United States women one last opportunity to assess and progress. Today's opponent, the Red Flames of Belgium. The United States, Belgium, coming up next. Welcome to ESPN's coverage of the U.S. women's national team, brought to you by Volkswagen, the state-of-the-art facility, Bank of California Stadium. U.S. soccer fans out in force as today the United States taking on Belgium. And welcome in, everybody. I'm Glenn Davis. Alongside me, she's one of the 99ers, Julie Foudy. Later in the program, we'll catch up with Kate Margraf, also a 99er, and there'll be a lot today around that 20th anniversary of that wonderful World Cup winning team. But right now, the task at hand here for Jill Ellis, the coach of the U.S. women's national team, is really around the final slots on this roster.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity, of course, and it's really a check on the depth of this team. And you're going to see 6 changes in the lineup from the Australia game. And most important is it's a chance for Jill Ellis to say, okay, where am I going to get my minutes? Where's my depth chart looking? And when you have the opportunity to play a front line like Press Lloyd and Pugh as your backup front line, that's a good embarrassment of riches for the United States. But really the strength, as we know, for this team, 61 days out from the World Cup, is going to be that front 3 that we saw against Australia. We saw in the She Believes Cup, Tobin Heath, Megan Rapinoe, and Alex Morgan. Rapinoe here, and their movement has been so good, drawing that back line across. When Alex Morgan can't finish it, it's Tobin Heath there to clean it up. How good that front 3 has been, and boy, have they been good. And that is going to be the strength for the United States when they get to this World Cup.
That is our Continental Tire Analyst's Corner, and that front 3, world-class, as we all know. Players walking out here today, they're wearing Nike uniforms with names on the back of young players that they have inspired. So this is a really wonderful moment here, sort of a passing of the torch, Julie.
Love it. Similar to when you saw them wearing women who inspired them on the back of their jerseys. Now it's that younger generation they're trying to inspire as well.
Crowd getting ready here. Belgium expected to get into the tunnel here shortly, and Nike tonight has taken over 2,000 seats here at the Bank of California in support of their Dream Crazier campaign. We have seen so many young women out here just idolizing their soccer gods, per se.
You have a lot of 99ers here as well with our kids, which has been so fun to see, idolizing this current team. It's so fun as a mom from that perspective to see your kids. I have a 10 and a 12-year-old boy and girl, and to see how excited they get for this current generation. Brandy Chastain, Christine Lilly, Joy Fawcett, some of those 99ers. I'm just happy I have a voice actually to call this game because it's been so much fun seeing all the old bags, as we call ourselves. There's Lil. Look at that handsome fellow. That's my son right there, number 10 years old, Declan.
Well, the ladies of that 99 team breaking barriers and inspiring the next generation of players, including this current U.S. women's national team. This is this wonderful intimate walk that takes place here at the Bank of California Stadium. Expected sellout today. There's a look at Megan Rapinoe. She will not play today, precautionary. So she is out, but comes off a wonderful game in Denver against Australia.
She sees the crowd recognizing her, giving a wave.
Carly Lloyd leading out the U.S. women's national team here.
And this team knows all too well, 61 days, 2 months, an opportunity for these players. Ali Krieger getting her first start in 2 years. an opportunity for them to show they belong on that final roster.
Big opportunity for Belgium. They flew in here Wednesday. We'll start it off momentarily with the Belgian national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem of Belgium. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and welcome singer-songwriter Keisha Renee to sing tonight's Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tonight, Nike taking over 2,000 seats here at the Bank of California Stadium, and there are some of the fans that are here in support of their Dream Crazier campaign, which shines a spotlight on female athletes who have broken barriers, inspired the next generation of female athletes to dream crazy. And that is something that wonderful 1999 stuff today, catching up with some of the former, some of the the journey we talked about.
drive me over to Jessica's house?
At Northwestern Mutual, this is what our version of financial planning looks like. Tomorrow's important, but so's making the most of the house before they're out of the house. Spend your life living. Find an advisor at northwesternmutual.com.
During March, Acura is challenging you to show off your handles on and off the court, even on the set of a car commercial. Mouse in the house, woo, still got it.
You know that was a travel, right?
Sold out of milestone in typical Alex strength to beat two defenders and the keeper, becoming the 7th player in history to score 100 goals. At just 29, she has joined the discussion as one of the greatest to play. Her quality
Right back, starter since 2018.
The Red Flames apply for a World Cup.
2-3-1, particular attention. May remember her from New York days. She won a title with them in 2016, played at Florida State.
Opportunity. Kickoff, earning the game's first goal. First 3-1-2 here in 2019. 3 win over Australia. Corner, this goes to the near post. Sauerbrunn got ahead on it. Now it's Lloyd who will knot it outside the 18. Carly Lloyd has beaten 1, has beaten 2. Still wrong. Good switch of play here. Does she have the legs to get there? Kristen Press, yes she does, to the far post. Just missing the run of Mallory Pugh. Somebody shot the gun, we're off to the races here. And this will be picked up, carrying off from a Thursday night game that was 5-3 and open as could be.
And you better believe these players who are starting tonight are gonna have some extra motivation to show what they can bring to this field tonight. Carly Lloyd with the early run, and this is going to be an animated starting 11 for the United States.
Crystal Dunn helped out wide there by Sam Mewis. Kierna Davidson, Christian Press, those two expected out of Stanford to hold down the left side of the field. Julie Ertz, who's normally the holding midfielder, dropping into that center back position, and Jill Ellis giving a run in that number 6 and Lindsay Horan. More on that in a minute, because here's Carly Lloyd driving into the box. Lloyd's cross will get clear by Belgium. And Crystal Dunn has been playing as a left back, getting that opportunity to play in the midfield here today. So a lot of things going on for Jill Ellis.
Yeah, and you're seeing Haran, as you just mentioned. And this is Jill Ellis wanting to add some depth and say, okay, can I play Haran in that 6 as a backup to what Julie Ertz will be? Could I move Julie Ertz into that center back position to have a little freedom with that rotation as well? Could I move Crystal Dunn up? We've seen her do it with her Carolina Courage team so well in that higher attacking midfield position. And some of those unsolved questions, and really that depth chart, you want to get a little bit more settled before you go into that World Cup.
This press towards the end line, it's a stabbing tackle there, and a good one from DeLussa. 38th cap for her, plays for Anderlecht. So remember these Belgian players on clubs like Anderlecht and Ghent, playing in the top division of women's soccer in Belgium. They got into a playoff, got ousted by Switzerland, just falling short. 8 players play abroad for this Belgian roster as well. Just on a side note, at the start of this game, it was 3 a.m. back in Belgium. Well, as the U.S. women head towards France in the FIFA Women's World Cup, it's time to take a look now at our Volkswagen coaches' notes. What do you have for us, Julie?
Well, you know, the first one's going to talk about the defense, something that's going to be a hot topic for today. 10 goals they've allowed in the last 6 games. They allowed 10 all of the 2018 series of games. And when you talk to Jill Ellis, she says, look, I don't blame it all on the back line. These are fixable problems, and it's a team defensive effort. We've got to get it from all 3 lines. And the other one is just passing to penetrate. She says when you have as good a forward line, front line, and the amount of depth that we have, we should be looking to get forward quickly. We're not just passing to pass. The U.S. is passing to penetrate. So 2 keys she wants to see tonight.
Big switcher play. Mallory Pugh lays it on. It's a nice ball towards the back post. And steered away for a throw-in. Pugh picking out there the run of Sam Mewis, and it was steered away by DeLussa, who's been called into action a number of times already. Press. Still press. She got hacked down at the top of the box. Free kick, United States. 6 minutes in. The energy in the Bank of California Stadium is a 10 out of 10 right now.
And the play before this was Mewis trying to find press on that back post. I mean, that is such a problem area for so many teams when you have those 2 attacking center midfielders and Mewis and Dunn playing those roles today for the United States. If they can get forward, that is trouble for that back line. No one wants to track that run.
Lindsey Horan standing over this. Her 66th appearance today for the United States. Very fundamental to the United States women's national team midfield. Remember, she bypassed college and went directly to play for PSG. It'll be Horan. She's going for goal. And in the end, a tame effort handled there by Nikki Everard, the 23-year-old who plays for FC Twente in the Netherlands.
Lindsey Horan missed all of She Believes Cup with that quad injury that happened right before that tournament. So she's going to have some managed minutes, probably around 60 today for the U.S., but playing in that deeper role today, something Jill Ellis wanted to see her in as well.
And Krieger knocked it forward. Carly Lloyd was trying to hunt that ball down. Good pressure here from Davidson. He's turning the Belgian player away and just got that arm up and gets called for the foul. Only 20 years of age. Davidson, a defender for the Chicago Red Stars. Press stepped up. Davidson steps up. The U.S. just looking sharper to the ball here so far. Sort of expected Belgium to be in a lower block defensively today.
And Jill Ellis actually was hoping they would be in the lower block because she said that's something we obviously are going to see in the World Cup. And really, they're almost sitting in like a 4-1, 4-1. We saw United States go into that at the end of that Australia game.
Lloyd just using her power to win it back. She stripped the defender. Goes to the far post. It's cleared. Belgium under heavy, heavy pressure here. Bending but not breaking so far. 8 minutes in. Sauerbrunn and Ertz. That's going back to that wonderful pairing that won the 2015 World Cup before Julie Ertz was moved into midfield. And again, as Julie mentioned, today Lindsey Horan playing the deeper lying, holding defensive midfield role. Because Jill Ellis saying, you know, we have to have a backup for Julie Ertz and someone who's going to be comfortable in that role. Here's Ertz now. Pugh. Lost control there, came off the bench in wonderful fashion on Thursday to produce 2 goals. One of them 30 seconds after she came on.
Her very first touch. I said, how good was that in front of your home crowd there? She was, honestly, I couldn't believe it. My family was like, what? What was that? She goes, I don't know.
Lewis' ball. Off the mark. MLS Match of the Week presented by Audi. Saturday, Allianz Field, Darwin Quintero, Minnesota United hosting New York City FC. That's the opening of that new beautiful stadium. 5 Eastern, 4 Central on ESPN2, ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app. Check out ESPN FC on ESPN Plus every day. That'll be Taylor Twellman and John Champion, I believe, on the call of that one. Another free kick for the U.S. Pressure continues here 10 minutes in.
And this Belgian team is not a team that concedes many goals. They've been undefeated in their last 10 games, 6-0-4, and 6 shutouts in that span. But the U.S. is just knocking right now.
Davidson, diagonal ball. It's going to be easily headed away. Second ball. Players getting in the way of each other. Ball gets whipped in again. It goes through everybody. Carly Lloyd with her hands to her head, wanting that one back. And Sauerbrunn coming over to extinguish the counterattack. Belgium maybe with a little bit of space to play here, but Sauerbrunn's going to leg this one down. And as much as we've talked about this incredible attack and a lot of what we think are the three-pronged attack are on the bench here to start this one, the starters. Defensively, what are some of the reasons you think the U.S. has been conceding more goals?
Well, I think you've had some injuries, of course. You see Kelly O'Hara, who I think if she is in that starting lineup against Australia at right back, with Crystal Dunn on the left and Abby and Dahlkemper and Becky Sauerbrunn in the middle, that's probably your starting back line. But she's had some trouble getting back. Tierna Davidson, who was doing so well in that center back position, broke her leg in her collegiate season in the fall. So you've had some rotation there that hasn't helped. And I think positionally they've been all over the place. It's something they talk about it from the 3 lines. I think that back line, though, positionally, we're just seeing them very disjointed. And it's obviously it's something you want to happen now, though.
Yeah, it's been very open games. I mean, could this be a United States team that goes to this World Cup and just outscores people from a goal-scoring perspective while maybe conceding a few more? I mean, that would be much different than 2015, right?
Well, and that's the thing is really 2015 was won on the backs of that back line and their goalkeeper and Hope Solo. So it's a very different formula if they are going to go in that way. But they clearly need to shore things up on that back line. And as I said, I think this is the time you say, okay, these are fixable issues, but this is an issue we need to address.
Mr. Jung enjoying getting a run in midfield here today with a switch of play. Here's Ali Krieger, who may be the player out here today who has the most to gain with a good performance. Comes central, Mewis, switch of play. Davidson one times it to the far post. Carly Lloyd was ghosting in there to the edge of the 6-yard box. The one-time ball from press.
And there you see Sam Mewis just finding that little seam in between, which is the perfect spot in which Jill Ellis wants to find her a little bit higher, able to turn and get her head up.
13 minutes in. Belgium now with a little bit of good combination play. They've been able to advance some players forward here. Ernst is going to knock the header towards Lloyd. And she took a little bit of grabbing there from Julie Beesman. 60-second cap for her today for Belgium.
You see Carly Lloyd there. She's only had 34 minutes in terms of play time in 2019. 36 years old. She'll turn 37 this summer at the Women's World Cup. And that's going to be another question that Jill wants answered, Jill Ellis. And how many minutes? When does she come in? How effective can she be? Because we know, and we've seen it from Carly Lloyd, big goals and big moments.
This one clipped into the box. The header steered in. Oh, that's a fantastic goal. And you called it. Carly Lloyd has scored again for the United States. It's her 106th goal.
We saw her miss one earlier, and you could see she was upset about it. She wasn't going to miss a second. Look at, well marked. She just skies over her and puts it in places it in the corner. And that's the thing and the element that Carly Lloyd brings. And especially, she's her best when her back is against the wall. We've seen that with her time and time again. You count her out, she will come roaring back.
By the way, she was marked well on that play and just got up and above Helen Jock, the 30-year-old defender who plays for Fiorentina. Spectacular goal from Lloyd, producing the aerial game. In the box it comes again. It's steered away here. Constant pressure now on Belgium. This one headed away again by DeLuca. It'll be a U.S. corner here.
And this is Carly Lloyd fighting for minutes. You know she's going to be on that roster, right? The question mark for her is how many minutes can she endure over the course of this World Cup, and at what point do you put her in? And this is her saying, put me in.
Carly's last goal, October 7, 2018 against Panama. Press, Sauerbrunn. All kinds of time for Davidson to get the crossing. Ricocheting through everybody. It's some pinball wizardry there. It's still the United States. It's Carly Lloyd now. She goes down, not going to get a call. Maybe a chance to break out here for Belgium. Trying to get some numbers in front of the ball. They're going to get it switched out wide here. And not able to control it was Kaiman, who has 34 goals, who plays for Montpellier. ESPN's coverage is brought to you by Volkswagen, presenting partner of U.S. Soccer.
And boy, is that going to be a good matchup on the right side of the U.S. back line. Krieger against Kaiman. Talked about Kaiman in the open. 9 goals to lead the Belgian team in World Cup qualifying, almost getting them to their first ever Women's World Cup. And good positioning on that last play by Krieger. Little counter by Belgium. She tracked that one down, chased it down.
Ernst, Ali Krieger now. Krieger today earning her 99th cap. Oh, what a turn from Crystal Dunn now. She's got her head up here. Going to turn this one towards the end line. It's going to go out for the goal kick for Belgium.
It really is remarkable when you think about the number of lines that Crystal Dunn can play, and on either side, in any position. I said at one point, Dunner, you're going to be in goal. I know it. She's like, I actually think that sometimes.
Let's not forget, she's got 24 goals just to kind of further validate that consistency, because she has played as an attacker a lot for Jill Ellis as well.
And so good on all three lines.
Davidson, 20 years of age, has just beaten 2. And rather easily. Cross will come back to the 18, no one there. And that's going to stop the counterattack there. As Sam Mewis with the tactical foul. Going back to Crystal Dunn, we heard Jill Ellis, when we spoke to her yesterday, talking about investment in players. That's one of the players she truly invested in.
And rewind 4 years to the last World Cup. That was her last cut, was Crystal Dunn. She was the last one they cut to not make that roster. How much does that one hurt? And then she came roaring back. MVP of the NWSL, playing so well, and basically said, look, I will play anyway, but I want to be on this roster. And boy, does she deserve to be on this roster.
That's a remarkable story that is fittingly perfect for today's Dream Crazier campaign, I would say. And of course, Crystal Dunn looks to be penciled in as a starter at left back, because I kind of believe that lineup on Thursday is pretty much what is the first team lineup for Jill Ellis.
Minus Kelly O'Hara if she can get healthy again. And by all indications, her ankle is getting better.
Sauerbrunn ran it forward from her center back position. Here's Dunn now. She's teasing and tormenting 2. She's created space. Can she get a cross off? Took a deflection. Oh, it's a goal! Carly Lloyd's putting on a show here in Los Angeles.
Crystal Dunn. Many players would see 3 reds in front of them and push that ball backward. She says, no way, I'm getting to that inline. And not only am I going to get to that inline, I'm going to find a player in that box. And once again, well-marked. A well-marked Carly Lloyd, just getting up and snapping. Her technique with her head, as we've seen for so many years, so good. Finding the corner. And that is a fired-up Carly Lloyd.
2 goals in 6 minutes for Carly Lloyd, both in the air. And she has personally made a statement here inside 20 minutes here. Sauerbrunn, Davidson. Becky Sauerbrunn has just silently, humbly gone about doing her business tonight, her 155th cap. Speaking of legendary careers, she's had one as well. Belgium arrived here on Tuesday after an 11-hour flight. They did some fitness work Wednesday, got into regular training on Thursday. Yesterday did a double session. We're in here in the stadium last night. Country that's rising. They're preparing for Euro 2021 qualifying, which will begin in the fall. Their first match will be against Croatia.
And when they qualified Belgium for that 2017 European Championship, it was this boost of energy to the country. We've seen, obviously, what they've done on the men's side. Roberto Martinez, one of our ESPN colleagues there now, they're ranked #1 in the world. But the women's side has struggled to gain any traction until they qualified for that European Championship. And boy, I was talking to Roberto on email. He said the response from the country was tremendous. And the youth development that's happening. There's only 30,000 registered players in Belgium. But definitely on the upswing, as you see in so many of these countries.
was saying, a very good team technically, very well put together by the coach Yves Serniels. The area that they'll have to bridge now is athletically, which we have seen many European countries do over the years in dramatic fashion.
They don't have the pace. They don't have the skill.
Want to go out of play. Let's go to Kate Margraf, who has a special guest.
Yeah, quite a special guest indeed. I'm standing here with Mia Hamm, one of the greatest soccer players in U.S. history. Mia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Now, you're a part owner of the stadium. This is a pretty nice space. What's it like to host the U.S. team here?
It's an incredibly proud moment for us. Obviously, we're proud of the product we put together here at LAFC, but to have the caliber of the international players that we have here today is special. As a former member of this team, but obviously someone who loves the game of women's soccer. So for the fans here to be here, and for my teammates to see this great stadium we built in the heart of Los Angeles means a lot.
We'll get back to 1 second. So with an exciting opportunity just like that passing by, many more going on against Belgium. My question is, this team around us is such a special group. The 99ers came together and had incredible chemistry, which led to our victory. What do you remember about that year and the challenges we faced to overcome to win the World Cup?
I think, we had to deal with the pressures of playing at home, but also, at different times, people playing in different positions, injuries. But more importantly, I think for us is just coming together as a team. You work so hard to accomplish and win the World Cup. Everyone has to be on the same page, and I think a lot of the times it's easy to get distracted, but we were committed to each other, committed to the task at hand, and we really put everything we had into making sure that belief was there every single day.
Now the U.S. Players Association and U.S. Soccer is hosting this weekend in celebration of 20 years since winning the 1999 Women's World Cup. What similarities do you see between the current team and us?
I think you have so many players. They can play different lineups and give the opposition different looks. You have players that are incredibly versatile, like a Crystal Dunn, who can play outside back, but also get forward and make Kelly O'Hara. So I'm hoping she gets healthy. And they have grit. So I think when you go through a tournament, you have to have the ability to overcome, downsides, obstacles, and these players have that. And so I'm excited to, just like they are, to get it started and see how well they do this summer.
All right, thanks, Mia. Enjoy the game.
Thanks.
Our thanks to Kate and our thanks to Mia Hamm. When Mia talks, people listen. It's kind of like you, Julie Fowler.
Oh, right. Just like it. How about her rocking the Sam Mewis jersey, too? Because Mewis wore her name on her back for that game where they were recognizing female role models.
U.S. off the corner here. And it's another header. It's a third goal. It's a third aerial goal here. This time it's Lindsey Horan.
And just so much time there for Lindsey Horan. That marking, as you're seeing, too much space, but she does well to get this one on frame, and especially as you're backpedaling like that with a floated ball, it's hard to get pace on it. But Belgium not tight enough on that set piece, that corner kick, and Horan punishing them for it.
8th international goal. Her moment here tonight, tempo setter. 2018 NWSL MVP. Lindsey Horan has a goal to go along with 2 from Carly Lloyd. Laughter permitted with Julie Fowler, the podcast.
Oh, hey!
Start laughing.
Little podcast promo.
New episodes weekly. You can listen on Apple or Spotify. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Do you know who our last guest was? Our latest guest? Glenn Davis?
It was Mia Hamm.
It was Mariel Hamm, one of the funniest humans I know. You will laugh a lot. It's permitted.
Pugh. Top of the box, left-footed shot, bent in and held. Good handling there by Nikki Everard. And Mallory Pugh cutting in on her left here.
Pugh, 3 goals, co-leader of the team this year in 2019. Had an interesting conversation with her actually yesterday about the starting, non-starting position, and how she said, I started overthinking it when I wasn't starting, and I had to kind of back off and be, I was getting some anxiety. She was really candid about it and how that played on her mentally. And she said, now I've just tried to focus on, I'm just going to go out there and do my best, whatever my role is, wherever I'm playing, if it's starter, if I'm coming in for less minutes. And she said, I was totally overthinking it. I feel like I'm in a much better place.
She will turn 21 on April 29th, so some pretty self-aware stuff she's talking about there. Youngest U.S. player to score at the Rio Olympics. Had that beautiful, delicate chip, which occurred in that 5-3 win off the bench. Lindsey Horan getting dumped there. Picked up the 3rd goal in the 26th minute for the U.S. And Belgium's been under siege here for the majority of this, Julie.
We haven't even talked about their number 9, Tessa Woolert, who is their Belgian Player of the Year. She plays in that target position, and she, like Kyman, is another game changer. Hasn't even had a sniff of the ball this game.
Still done now, dropping into this left back position. Off and running is Sam Mewis, who is alive today. That shot will go over the top. 2 NWSL titles for Mewis. Tonight, her 47th cap. Has a very talented sister, Christy Mewis, who plays in Houston with the Houston Dash, who's recovering from injury.
Another national teamer who's come through, especially the youth national teams, Christy Mewis. But Sam Mewis can hit that from distance. We've seen her do that. It was fun to see her reaction with Mia on the field. We got to go down and watch their practice, of course, with the current team, and then we had this big interaction, a big reunion picture, and Sam Mewis was so cute. She was so excited to see Mia.
So the U.S. have dropped Crystal Dunn to the left back position. They've slid Davidson into the middle next to Sauerbrunn, and Julie Ertz is going back to what has been familiar to her in recent times, that sort of holding midfield role.
And this is a rotation that Jill Ellis has wanted to use and be able to be flexible in this regard.
What's your play here now? Gochin's still into the box, and touch goes long. The left back going box to box that time.
It was Ertz actually coming back from midfield to clear that ball. So Ertz will go in that holding center midfielder Horan, and Mewis a little higher.
Could that be a way they play with those two next to each other?
Rose Lavelle, we should mention, out with an ankle knock. That happened actually yesterday in practice.
He's a late scratch because she was expected to start tonight. Here's press. Riches of attacking talent, remarkable. Lloyd with the big switch. He's going to get cut out. Just coming that little bit quicker for Belgium here. That's put them under duress a lot. Krieger's cross. Masipa. Free kick bundled to the ground there was Lindsey Horan.
Masipa, one of the young stars for Belgium, clumsy on that. Clearly a foul.
Masipa plays for Ghent. Press. And Kierna Davidson stand over it. Look at Mickey Everard. Flick to the back post, a header, that's goal number 4. It is an aerial onslaught here. Header after header going in. And this time, it's Sam Mewis.
And Belgium just cannot stay with the United States in the air. Dominant all over. Carly Lloyd with the first 2 with her head. Horan was the 3rd, and now Mewis getting in on the party. And on 3 of them, it's basically been the U.S. just out working them, out jumping them.
Yeah, that's a great point. They haven't been clear headers. I mean, there are people getting up and over defenders.
Horan's was clear, but the other 3, no. It was, I mean, they were tight marking.
34th minute, a 4-0 lead for the United States. Krieger. Dunn, press, works a 1-2, gets it back. Here's Kristen Press, she can fly. They'll square it back. The Seaboat for Belgium will clear it. Obviously, without being disrespectful to Belgium, it's a step down from Australia.
Clearly a step down. I would say, though, with the Australia game, the one thing the U.S. is going to take away from that, I heard Alex Morgan, I talked to Alex Morgan yesterday about this and her 100th goal and how pleased she was to get that out before the World Cup, but it's the fact that they came back from being down. They were down 2-1, even though they gave up 3.
Carly Lloyd will knock it back. Lindsay Horan. Outside of her foot to Lloyd. Lloyd, she does have power. Posting up was Press trying to get it back to Lloyd. Still Kristen Press here. Krieger. Get a cross in, headed away. Now, if you're making decisions on the final roster spot, and we'll get back to that in a second, because Belgium breaking out here. To get things going is Ravina Filchins. Again from that left back position. And the offside flag was a big start for Carly Lloyd here today. 2 goals inside the first 20 minutes. She's climbed up now to tie Michelle Akers on the all-time scoring leaders list for the U.S. Women's National Team. Let's go to Kate Margraf, who has the legendary Michelle Akers.
Yeah, speaking of Michelle Akers, I had the privilege of standing next to her. It's very hard to get a hold of her to interview her. She's the most popular player up here. Michelle, what's been your favorite part of this weekend?
The favorite part for me has been being with you, being with our team, being with these guys out there playing on the field and kind of reconnecting and enjoying and celebrating what we've accomplished, but what we're looking forward to in this next World Cup.
Now, you won 2 World Cups, but not consecutively. You won in 91 and 99. How hard is it to repeat, and what can this team do to become back-to-back champions?
When you win 1 World Cup, everybody's gunning for you. Super tough to win back-to-back. So I think for this team, leadership, poise, focus, finishing their chances, defense, pulling it all together at the right times, and miracles. And listen, our hearts will all be out there with them. So it's going to be tough, but rooting for them, praying for them. We'll see what happens.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Michelle. If you don't think she bleeds for the U.S. jersey, after that interview, we'll take it to a doctor.
And you can hear everyone losing their voice as well. Brandy, wait till we get her on. She barely had a voice coming into this game. It's fun because we just never get to do this as well. This is the first time we've had 18 of the 20 together. The only 2 we're missing, Tiffany Milbritt and Carla Overbeck, which I'm not happy about, you two. such a neat group of women.
You guys have been involved in so much media work here and events, but also just having a great time together. You can see the wonderful chemistry even after being apart for so long.
And it's seamless, it really is, with the kids as well. All of us with our kids hanging out, everyone's got their family here. It's just been so much fun.
Big switch of play, here's Masipa. The join in was DeLusa. Beastman's. Ball just too big, too strong, and powerful. 39th minute. Here's Sauerbrunn now. This crowd has been engaged. It's been active, it's been physical, it's been acoustically noisy here, both on and off the field here today. It's lived up to it.
What a great stadium this is.
A gorgeous stadium, home of LAFC, which me and Ham is a part owner of, and LAFC off to a great start. Off the turn, press will try to bend it in. It's a game that's also brought out a lot of stars here. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen in attendance here.
Their daughter as well. Have fun. Love those two. We're hearing from our producer, Tom Kulis, they got yelled at, the daughters, for dancing on the field too close. I think that should be celebrated, actually, Glenn.
There's been a lot of jerseys moved here today, I think, too. Is there anybody outside of us not wearing a U.S. Women's National Team jersey today? 41st minute. It's been one-way traffic here in the United States. 14th minute, 20th, 26th, 33rd. Glenn Davis alongside Julie Foudy, Kate Margraf, the third member of our team here. This is the last match for the United States before they will pick their roster and then play in their final 3 games before heading to the World Cup.
Kate just hanging out on the sunset deck. I've been putting a few back with the girls up there. With the 99ers hanging out. That's a good gig right there Kate has.
Here to Davidson. Goes into midfield, Haran. Just dropped it. And it'll be collected. So halftime, what's coming up? Because I know you've been the choreograph agent around all this interesting halftime activity.
I just know we're going out onto the field. I don't sweat the details. Just tell me where I gotta go.
Legacy of the 99ers and the 99ers 20th anniversary celebration. You're not going to want to miss this at halftime. Dunn will go back to Alyssa Mayer, who we've hardly mentioned here in the first half.
You mentioned earlier, Glenn, rightfully so, this isn't obviously the level of Australia. We were talking about how Alex Morgan pointed out how proud she was. She said, literally, I thought we lacked the grit as a team in the She Believes Cup. And even though we did concede those 3 goals, what we did show was a mentality and grit that we're going to need. And I think that's something that they're going to build upon in these last 2 months, 61 days out for this World Cup.
Yeah, we're basically 2 months away from it. Do you think this will be the most competitive World Cup ever?
Absolutely. So many countries now investing more in their women's game.
What a summer it's going to be. Sauerbrunn. Krieger. Off the turn. Away from Lloyd. It's picked up by Krieger, who's trying to join in here quite a bit. Here's Crystal Dunn now. Started the game in midfield, moved to left back after the third goal. Dunn will get to the end line. She'll hang a cross up. And remains it. No, it goes out for the goal kick. USL is back on ESPN News. We'll have Memphis 901 and Atlanta United 2 Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. It's also available on the ESPN app. You can watch it anywhere. And for all your soccer needs, don't forget to check out ESPN FC on ESPN Plus every day. Watch a lot of games on ESPN Plus.
A lot of continents.
This is our life.
A lot of countries.
It's amazing. You can watch every tier of the game here in the United States. You can catch up on all your MLS, Italian Serie A. Stepping in front there to win it was Jack. All right, Julie, I'm going to take command here as the play-by-play guy and say you have to make your way down to the field.
Oh,
so
yeah?
we will
It's
see you.
You're not the boss of me.
We will see you later.
Gladly, I'll take this headphone off.
Well, my boss, the producer, Todd Koulis, just told me, so I'm just the messenger here. Don't beat me up. Here. Here's Mallory now. Little shake of the hip. She'll knock it back here. Lindsey Horan picking one up in the 26th minute. All 4 U.S. goals here in the first half coming via the aerial game in the head. Final roster will be picked prior to the May 12th beginning of the send-off series. Starts with South Africa, then New Zealand 4 days later on the 16th of May, and then May 26th, Mexico at Red Bull Arena. And of course, the U.S. in a group that includes Thailand, Chile, and Sweden, with Sweden the biggest competition in their final group game. No stoppage time here in the first half. Cross will come in. Lloyd trying to get a third. Goes out for the goal kick. And with that whistle, Carly Lloyd, a pair of goals to get things going here. The United States dominating here in the first half against number 20 ranked Belgium. Sam Mewis getting one. Lindsey Horan getting one as well. And we will take a break here from Bank of California Stadium. Legends are up next.